Hello.
Hey.
Welcome.
Welcome indeed. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday, May 9th. I can't believe it's May 9th already.
You know, it really feels like this year, because we've been involved in getting everything done, the year has flown by like mad. And yet we're never done. We're never done. So much to do. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about that.
I think that you should talk about your dinner last night.
Oh yeah, I had a dinner last night that was so much fun. And you know, I never get to go out.
You never get to go out.
I never get to go out. And so last night, Huey from the nightclub here in New Brunswick invited me to dinner with Kelsey Grammer, Fraser Crane.
Fraser Crane.
Fraser Crane.
Fraser Crane, everybody.
And so, you know, you don't know what you're going to meet when you meet someone like that.
Right.
Right? Like, is he a jackass? I don't know. I am happy to report he is the nicest guy.
I love hearing that.
He's so
I love hearing that. I absolutely love hearing it. I love it because, you know, I'm a huge Fraser.
Everybody's a Fraser fan.
Huge Fraser fan.
Arguably the greatest sitcom ever.
Oh my God, love Fraser.
Right?
Love it.
And so, he played, I asked last night, he played Fraser for 9 years on Cheers, and then 11, so a total of 20 years.
Right.
And now there's a season 3, or I guess, a third iteration coming
like
out.
a reboot.
A reboot. Thank you, Vicki.
So is everybody back in except, well, Martin passed away.
You know what's funny? I asked, and then we get sidetracked. You know what I'm concerned about? Okay, so I'm concerned that maybe I talk too much. Yeah, I was just telling stories, and you know, but he wasn't the kind of guy that wanted it all about him, right? Like, he wasn't egotistical. He said, "I'm telling you, the most down to earth guy." So I'm just telling stories. I'm a couple scotches in, you know.
Right, I know.
And a couple scotches in, I start. And I mean, he was laughing. He was very gracious. He has a beer company.
Okay.
What is it? American Patriot Beer?
Faith American.
Faith American.
Faith American. Okay.
Four varieties, flavors. Whatever.
Okay.
We're gonna bring him in style.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, because he'll come get bartend. But here's what's cool. All right, so you could argue, well, he was here on business to push his beer.
Right.
But he walked to the bathroom. On the walk back, he stopped at the bar. He's talking with people. I found out some fascinating things. He went to school in Atlantic Islands.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which is where I was born.
Yeah, I know.
And
Tiny town.
It's so funny. It's a great little town. And he said, you know, when I was in school, my grandfather walked me to school, and he goes, yeah, it's a dumb little town. And then a second later, he goes, oh, I'm sure it's very nice right now. Because he thought we still lived there. And I said, it's all good. And it's a beautiful town.
Such a human moment, right? Like, everybody has those moments where you say something, you're like, and you just want to take it back, like, oh, shit, how do I redo that?
Exactly. But I'm going to tell you, he went to St. Agnes. He went to Atlantic Island Elementary.
Right.
And then...
Where'd he go from there?
I think Colonia, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
But he genuinely asks about you.
Right.
And I was, did I mention?
Yeah,
liquored up a bit. And I obliged.
Right.
I genuinely, but I'm telling stories about the business, and, you know, I asked him a lot about, you know, but I hope I didn't, like, I hope he's not in the hotel somewhere going, oh my God, that guy.
You hope he's not on some podcast right now going, God, I met this guy last night who wouldn't shut up.
Exactly.
Holy shit, he wouldn't shut up.
And you know, it's funny. So, and we'll get back to Kelsey Grammer in a minute. But you know, I love everybody.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, you open that door to a conversation with somebody. Maybe you're getting, I shouldn't say dry cleaning because I like a dry cleaner, but yeah, you're in a spot. I was in a spot 2 days ago. I don't want to say where. I was checking out. And the people know me a little bit. And so the woman said something, and I replied. And then she just went off and started running about her life. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, you didn't even tell me that.
Yeah, I can't tell you now either because I don't want to offend her. But the conversation's going on, and in my head I'm going, I just want to. I gotta go now. And the people in line, and you don't know if they're thinking, look at this jackass. And I'm known a little bit around here, so I don't want to be holding them up.
Right. Where people are like trying to purposely make eye contact with the size.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Vinnie Brand wouldn't shut up.
Yeah.
So we had a really great dinner. I had Maddie come over.
Right.
And he invited Maddie and Alec to dinner.
That's very sweet.
I'm telling you, I can tell you that for me, I feel like I have a new friend.
Right.
And he is probably home right now trying to figure out a way to get us to carry the beer and never see me again.
Well, I just want to, you're telling this story and you're thinking that you've met a new friend. And it reminds me when we were in Canada years and years ago for Just for Laughs festival, which that character from Beverly 9021 was
Luke Perry.
Luke Perry was
He's
in.
dead.
I know that, dear. You don't have to say it like that.
Well, it's just that if you had your way that day, you'd be a widower.
Now, stop it. No.
A widow.
But anyway, we met him in the gym, and then, so help me God.
Okay, we didn't meet him in the gym. I was working out of the gym. You were working out of the gym. 9 treadmills. Creeper Luke comes right up next to your treadmill and starts chatting you up.
No.
And I'm across the gym going, I'll snap you like a string bean.
No, that's not what happened. He really didn't know. No, he really didn't know how to work out. And I said, go help him, Vinny. He didn't. He was very thin. And listen, at the Just for Laughs festival, it's this huge comedy festival in Canada, very late nights. You know, things are going in well into like 3, 4,
The last
5.
time we ever had Big Macs.
Yes. Like well into the morning. And so, and everyone stays at essentially one hotel. So everyone is dead asleep except me, Vinny, and Luke Perry in the gym.
Right.
Like the gym is just barren. It's a ghost town.
Nobody in the gym.
Right.
9 treadmills.
Yeah. And so, but you can always tell when someone doesn't really know their way around the gym. Like they're out on that first time and they're like, I'm going to start working out. And because they walk around and like basic equipment, they don't know what to do. And he was doing that. So he was literally like looking at the treadmills, looking at the free weights.
Looking at your ass.
No, stop it. And I said, go help him. So you did. And you guys were chatting up, having a good time. And you guys were chatting it up. And I can't remember why, but you asked for his phone number because you would. And then you literally said, we were going to some event later that afternoon. You said, well, maybe I should text Luke. Maybe he doesn't have anyone to sit with.
Do I have the number?
I don't know now. You've had so many different phone numbers. Phones. But you literally were like, where is Luke? Maybe he needs someone to sit with. Like Luke Perry needs to sit with you. Like he wouldn't have anybody else to sit with but Vinnie Brand.
Let me just say one thing. How did he die?
You held Luke Perry a seat for a little while, too.
I what?
You held Luke Perry a seat for a little while.
I what?
You held him a seat for a little while thinking Luke would sit with us.
No, I think...
Yes, you did! Yes, you did.
I still have the number.
You guys thought you were going to be friends.
Well, I still have the number. I'm going to call him.
Do you think you're going to call him in heaven?
Aren't you presumptuous? How did Luke Perry die, Noah?
He had a heart attack, didn't he? It was very sudden.
Very quick. Very sad.
Yeah.
A young guy like that.
Yeah, he was very young.
Younger than me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. It was very, very sudden.
Stroke.
Stroke.
Oh, okay.
At what age?
52.
52, yeah. He was on Riverdale, right?
Well, then he was older than me. Luke Perry was born in what year? He was very nice.
It is very sad.
But let's get back to Kelsey Grammer while we're looking at what year he was born. So, Kelsey Grammer is going to come bartend at the club.
Right.
And the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And he has his beer. Mm-hmm. It's a really interesting story. So, yeah, the guy's uber successful. Right? Uber successful. And he just made a movie out called The Jesus Revolution, I think. Could you look that up for me?
1966.
Eric McMahon.
He was born in 1966? He's younger than you.
He died more than 9 years ago.
He clearly didn't.
2019 he died.
He died in 2019, Noah said.
Ah.
Clearly you're not the fan you thought you were.
I'm not. Well, I was never a fan of any of that garbage. 90210 was all.
I know. Well,
was all garbage.
wow.
I mean, it launched a lot of people. Shannon Doherty, Luke Perry. That's all I know.
Tori Spelling.
Who else?
A bunch of other names I don't remember. Andrew Shue.
Okay, so Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Jesus Revolution.
The Jesus Revolution.
Okay.
Has a new movie out called The Jesus Revolution. He's super proud of the movie. Eric McMahon said the movie's amazing.
Really?
He said we got to watch the movie.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you back to him. So he has this piece of land, and he said, "Well, what am I gonna do with it?" And he decided to brew beer.
Wow.
And you know, this is the thing now, right? With a lot of Hollywood people,
Yeah.
who want to just attach to an alcohol. This is not the case with Kelsey Grammer. He loves beer. It's a passion thing for him.
That's awesome.
I haven't tasted it yet. You know, I'm not the biggest beer drinker, but Huey, who is a beer drinker, said it's a really good drinking beer.
Oh, good.
So I would love to do a really big event,
Right.
and have him in here, and he's going to blow you away how easy a conversation he is.
Right. I'm looking forward to meeting him. I really am.
Yeah.
I really am looking forward
Would
to
you
meeting
say
him.
he's probably your favorite all-time sitcom star?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I have a lot of favorites, and he is.
Well, you know me. When I want to laugh, I'll say let's rewatch like a Cheers or a Frasier, and we've watched them all several times.
Yes.
But I like to go back and watch. I really do. I like to go.
Well,
back
that's the
and watch.
measure. When you can watch something again, you know the lines are coming and you laugh anyway. Cheers, Frasier, Honeymooners, Odd Couple.
Right.
All in the Family a little bit.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched that in so many years.
No.
Great show.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he was just at nice dinner. And I, unlike you, I don't do social things.
No, you don't.
You know, all I do is work. You do a lot of social things. You're much smarter than me.
Don't be a hater. Just
No,
because
I think.
have a social
listen,
life.
Can I tell you something? I think.
Listen, the girls and I have been talking a lot about this, and I mean, you all are our friends, so this is an open forum.
Let's beat up on Vinnie.
No, but we think that you have this need. Like I said to you the other night, leave Bridgeport, drive home. It's late. No, I got to stay to close the show. I got to stay to do this. I got to stay to do this. You think it's going to fall apart without you. You
It
really
will.
do. No, it won't.
I am the linch pin.
No, it won't. It won't. You have
Wait,
to.
so Frasier can redo Frasier and just not show up at the show? I just read a couple episodes
No,
without
but
me.
I'm sure.
Read a couple episodes without me being the psychiatrist.
Frasier isn't going, I got the camera. I'm on the camera. I'm running over here. Here's the microphone. I'm positive he's not doing that.
I will tell you this. I told you this, I think, on another podcast. I'm not sure if I did it. I have a need to be engaged in business, right? So I want to make sure business is run right.
You must have talked to Eric about that because Eric, and Vinnie and Eric McMahon started a podcast, and Eric said that you have that need in our
Eric
kitchen.
isn't some psychologist. Eric is, no, listen, there's a lot of business people that like doing business.
Right, but the problem is, while you like doing business, then you don't get sleep, and then all we hear is, I worked 21 hours yesterday.
No, you hear that.
I worked 21 hours yesterday. I worked 18 hours yesterday. And we say, Vinnie, you could have come home. Vinnie, we have managers in place to do what you did.
I did come home Friday night after 21 hours of work.
Yes, that's my point. That is my point.
I was in Connecticut. How do you want me to get? I don't have a
I
magic
want you to
carpet.
leave earlier, Vinnie. I want you to leave earlier.
There were problems.
Okay, well, we'll
you know what we
discuss
could do?
What?
I could send you up on a Friday night.
I would happily go up and you can sit with Cassie, but I won't be
You would
working.
fire everybody.
I would not be working
You
20
would fire everybody.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes,
I wouldn't
you would.
be working 21 hours.
Listen, so Friday night, and the only reason I ever complain about working 21 hours is when there's an issue where I have to illustrate that I should get a little leeway. That's Vicki shaking her entire body. No, that's my line.
I know. That's why I was doing a call back to you.
You know who's on that radio is, by the way?
Your brothers.
My brother.
I know.
The funniest human on the planet.
I know.
But no, I mean, listen, I do want to slow down a little bit. I found
You
the boat that I
do.
want that would make me slow down.
Let's get it.
3.1 million.
Wow. You got to do those 21-hour
Well, we
days
could
for
get
that
there.
to happen.
Listen, we could get there.
Yeah.
We could get to 3.1 million for the boat, which means we need to get to 20 million, right? You need 20. What do you need to spend 3 on a boat?
I can't even imagine what the gas would be, the maintenance, the winterization on something
Vicki,
like that.
Listen, Vicki, if you can't afford to fantasize about the gas, you can't afford to fantasize about the boat, okay? And it's not gas, it's diesel.
See, I couldn't even imagine because, you know, it's so funny. Like, before we built our house, and we said, oh, we hodgepodged, like, UGC'd our house, and we had relatives doing stuff at our house, and you're like, wow, we love our house and it's beautiful. And then all the bills that are associated with said house. So like you can afford the house, but the bills that go along with it, same thing. Even if we hodgepodge and got all the money for a boat like that.
I don't want that boat.
No, I know that, but I'm saying the maintenance, the cost to carry something like that. That's an MC Hammer moment right there.
So here's what I think on a $3.1 million boat. Let's just run the numbers. Okay. All right. So first of all, that's an 85-foot boat. Mm-hmm. All right. That boat's a lot of boat.
You know when you can get that boat? When? I'm telling you when.
When?
If we hit a big lottery, before I give all the money away, you can get that boat.
Let me tell you something. You are not, unless you're giving the money to Viking, you're not giving it away. So that's very funny. But I really don't want that. I want a 55-foot Viking, mm-hmm. which would be, you buy a little bit older one. Mm-hmm. I'd love to buy a brand new one. The new ones are even sicker. But a 55-foot Viking. Now, here's why I wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. Because let's say we could buy the boat for $1 million. Mm-hmm. And get a really late model for $1 million. Mm-hmm. You don't like boats. So I wouldn't want that. Mm-hmm. All right.
I've tried. I've given it my best shot. I like sitting on the boat.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do with them.
No, I don't like going out. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I don't mind going out when there's absolutely nobody on the water. But like right now, there's a
clear a path. Everybody off the water. The queen is coming.
No, drowning scares the shit out of me. Yes. It really does. Drowning scares me as one of the worst ways to die. And
as opposed to good ways to die. What's a good way to die?
In your sleep. That's the best way to die.
No.
In your sleep. Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. How do you want to die?
He's so young, he probably hasn't really given it much thought.
How do you want to die now?
I don't know.
Well,
see, that's how you know he's so young.
Are you getting the audio today?
I am.
So you don't have to pick today. So I don't want to go in my sleep.
Oh, I do.
No, not me.
You want to be awake knowing that you're going to die?
I want to choose my moment.
You want to choose your moment?
I do. I want to choose my moment because if you go in your sleep, let's look what that looks like. Mm-hmm. You're up. You got 20 more things to do, mm-hmm. and you don't get them done. And then you croak, and you didn't take the garbage out or some other, right? So I'd like to choose my moment. Mm-hmm. First of all, I want to live a long time.
Sure.
How long do you want to live?
110.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, tell you all the time too, like my living will. A lot of people say, if I'm incapacitated, pull the plug. My living will says, I don't care if it's just a fingernail growing, mm-hmm. you buff it, you trim it, and you polish it. That's me. Yeah. Okay, if they can reincarnate me or they can figure out a way to grow cells, I want to grow. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm only kidding, right?
No, I know.
Okay, so I would like to go to like 110, 120. Mm-hmm. If you're going to 110, I want to go to 120. Yeah. Because I don't want you to have to bury me.
There's a woman.
Because I don't think you'll get around to it.
Don't mind daddy, guys. Mom's procrastinated a little more.
How many days do you think I'd be dead before you got it done? How many days? You're the worst. This would be you. We got to bury him soon. Well, you know what, though? Let's just watch an episode of Chicago PD. And then.
No, but once I commit to something, I'm good. It's my mental.
First of all, my coffin would come from Amazon. Right? You'd Amazon Prime my coffin. I don't want any of that shit, by the way. Don't spend any money on me when I go. What a waste of money.
No, well, I mean, we've talked about this.
Is it illegal? Let's say I died.
Yeah.
And you took me in the backyard and buried me. Is that illegal?
That is illegal. So on one of my class trips when I was a kid, which thinking back now, I can't believe they took us to a funeral home as a class trip. But we did. That's where we went. When you grow up in Hackettstown, you go to the funeral home as a class trip. But we did. We went to a funeral home as our class trip. And probably because we could walk there. And basically, it has to be... So all of those old time cemeteries, they can't do anymore because it has to do with like water tables and flooding and things of that nature. So the fear is if there's a flood or some kind of natural water rising, that dead bodies would float all over the place.
A la poltergeist.
Yes.
So you're saying that you can't be buried.
No, you can't be buried in your backyard. Now, probably out west, maybe they still do it. Who knows? I don't know. That's
But I
such
wonder
a
how they
different
even
culture.
know. Like, in other words, if you just buried me and never said anything, how much trouble could you possibly get? Let's say I died.
It's you clearly don't watch police shows. It's the illegal disposing of human remains.
That's how much? Could you jail time?
I don't know, but that's usually what that's usually one of the first charges they do when somebody's
That's
in
usually
trouble.
when there's a murder involved.
Right, but people
planning
have
on
gotten in
murdering
trouble.
me?
No, not today.
You've done a lot of research, it seems.
No, I've watched a lot of cop shows. But, there's a death certificate involved. So I think you can't just drive away with the body. Which is, think about it. How many years ago was it where they would do wakes in people's homes?
You can still do that.
Can you?
Oh, I'm sure you could do that.
Noah, can you look up that? Can you do wakes in people's homes? I don't know if you can.
Of course you can.
I think a lot more people would do it if you could still do it.
No, they wouldn't.
Why?
Because who wants a dead body in your house?
I think people that not wanting to part with their loved ones.
My bet is you can do it.
Noah?
So funerals, yes, you can. The laws differ from state to state. California, though, you can be charged up to $10,000 if you bury somebody on your property.
So you can do it.
So it's different state to state.
It's different from state to state. What about New Jersey? But he said in California you can be charged up to $10,000 fine if you bury somebody on your property.
Well, it costs you $30,000 to use a funeral to use a cemetery.
I mean, it would be cheaper.
So Vicki, what do you want to be cremated? What do you want to do?
I've given it a lot of thought.
Really, have you?
I have. Because I go back and forth. Because I know our kids, and we would just be in the ground somewhere, and it'd be overgrown, and I don't know, like, I think it depends on how old you are when you die. Like, when you're really old and you die,
You're brittle. You burn them quick.
well, then I would think that you would get cremated, and then you can get spread somewhere.
And when you're younger?
I think when you're younger and you pass away, it's important for your loved ones to have somewhere to go grieve, like a spot.
But they could go to a spot.
I don't think it's the same. I think that when you have somebody in your family and they die at a younger age, family members need somewhere to go.
Do you think it's legal to have me stuffed? Is it legal to taxidermy a human? I would love to be stuffed. I would love that. That would make me laugh really hard.
To answer the New Jersey question, you can bury on private property. Just
What is that?
We can bury on private property so the kids can bury us with the dogs.
It'd be great.
All right. And now we know they're going to visit us.
I want to know if that could be taxidermied. Wouldn't you think it'd be great to taxidermy, right? And you get like 9 or 10 pre-recorded messages, and you walk up and you push a button, and I give you the message for the day. It's the same messages. I can't. But if I started recording now, I could have hundreds of messages.
Yes,
right?
you could. Yeah.
Go up, push a button. I get the club. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Walt Disney stuff somewhere, or cryogenically stored somewhere, they say.
I say.
Is that true too? I don't know if that's true.
So there's a few places in, what do we got here? African, some of the tribes out there that they do still stuff humans, but it is not legal.
I guess
to
that's where.
stuff.
It's not legal.
In Africa,
Okay, if we move to Africa, you can do it.
but not here, just because
Not
of
here.
human remains with your organs and the toxicity.
Because why?
Organs, your toxicity. So
It's
you
not
cannot
legal
get
here.
stuffed.
See, there's too many laws in this country. Why can't you stuff somebody?
No.
Like, who decided that? Mm-hmm. Okay, they mummified people forever,
Yeah, it's true.
right?
It's true.
Wouldn't it be great to, like, this would be great too. Like, think about all the things you could do creatively. Mm-hmm. You could mummify me, wrap me up, and then hide me somewhere. Have like a Find Vinnie search.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like the search for, exactly, the search for D.B. Cooper.
Right.
Like, could you imagine?
Right.
Let's say you stuffed me full of money,
Right.
right? And then you hid me somewhere, gold coins. He said, Vinny is stuffed. He's hidden somewhere in the West.
Right.
Full of gold coins.
Right.
That'd be so much fun. You would live on forever.
Right.
Right? And people be looking for the dead body of any brand.
Right.
I'm not even trying to be funny, because sadly, when you die, right, it just kind of, like, even the greats, the great ones, no one's talking about Lincoln the way they did even 50 years ago. It's starting to dissipate, the fame. I think I freed slaves. What shot do I have of being remembered?
Right.
So you want something where D.B. Cooper still talked about.
Yeah,
Because he's out there somewhere with a boatload of money on
Wouldn't
him.
he be dead by now?
Yeah, he'd be dead. I'm sure he'd be dead. I think he died in the fall from the plane.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the search for D.B. Cooper is still on, just like the search for Bigfoot is still on, right? So, Noah, how do you?
I don't think the search for Bigfoot is really on anymore. I feel.
Oh, there are people out there.
I
looking.
feel like that was debunked. A long
No,
time
there
ago.
are people that are looking. Don't you think people are looking for Bigfoot, Noah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there are people out there crazy, Vicki. There are people who think the world is flat. And by the way, we all know it is. Okay, some of the crazies are watching. So, people believe all kinds of crazy things. Do you think we landed on the moon?
Of course, I think we landed on the moon.
No, do you think we landed on the moon?
I like to believe the science fiction of it. I love to believe it, but I think we landed there. I mean, there's the whole space race.
I'm looking at Noah in a whole new light.
Vicki, I'm telling you, I never asked Noah. I knew looking at Noah that Noah would not believe that. So what do you think, we faked it?
No, I think we did land there, but I love the hype around all of that, just craziness.
But that's a different question.
What's your original question?
Do you think we landed men on the moon?
I do. But
That's so apprehensive.
It is so apprehended because he's retracting it. Like, it sounds like a cuckoo, cuckoo.
Yes, I do now in the podcast. Noah, why would we fake that?
For, superiority over the Russians. The whole space race was going on. We had to be the first ones to be there.
So you think it was like a big green screen with Neil Armstrong?
I think that...
And Glenn, what's his face?
Glenn.
Buzz Aldrin and...
Who was it? Glenn who?
Buzz Aldrin.
John Glenn.
John Glenn, thank you.
Yeah, you got me.
I mean,
Yeah.
Also, I think Disney was very active. That was that 60?
He was what?
Oh, so you think that Walt Disney was involved in it?
Just because he had some Nazi... There's very tinfoil hat stuff going on with that. But
So
I
you
think you're
believe
one of
Walt
the ones
Disney-
wearing the tinfoil hats, Noah.
It's unbelievable. Well, I just saw a video. They said that one of the videos of the flag planting shows the flag waving. And that's a big conspiracy thing because there's no atmosphere on the moon. The flag wouldn't wave.
Okay.
Right? Now, I believe what you're saying is that they know there's no atmosphere. They set the flag up in the wind-blowing position, and you're seeing it. They hit it. That's what I think happened. Now, you saw that video, right?
yeah, that flag was actually made in my hometown.
Huh?
That flag was actually made in my hometown.
Okay, so why don't you just ask the guy?
I think he's dead.
Of course he's dead. They had to kill him, right? To hide the conspiracy. Tinfoil hat nut. So you think that... Do you think there's out now? The other thing is, they're saying that the reason we didn't go back, the big thing is the reason we didn't go back to the moon, is that on the moon they found evidence of other life forms, and now Space Force just said, Google this for me. Space Force is real.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Mel Brooks thing,
Does.
from right, but Space Force just said that we do face a threat from extraterrestrial attack. Did you know that?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he did. And
Well, I mean, listen, I don't not believe that because why? That would be... Cassie and I just had this conversation the other day.
healthy thing to have for the 10-year-old.
No. It would be very egocentric of us
Right.
to believe that planet Earth is the only one with sophisticated life form.
Okay, so let me say this about that. I think there's it's a possibility.
Yeah.
But there's also somewhere there was the first evolved life form. And why couldn't that be us?
It could.
Right.
Maybe not, though.
But I also believe, like you do, but I don't believe that they would travel across the galaxies just to invade us.
No, I don't think they would do that either. I mean, I don't think suddenly we're on that TV show Alien that was on TNT that we used to watch.
I still love that show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Was it called Alien?
No, it was
No,
called
it was
Arrival or...
No. It had the guy that was on...
It had the guy.
Right, he was... Noah Wiley was in it.
Yes.
Noah Wiley was in it.
He's in Google it. So what did you find out from me with that Google search?
What was your original question?
I said, did Space Force know why I was in the show?
I'm looking it up because he was also in ER.
He was. The show was called... I love that show.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. That was a really good show. That was Falling Skies.
Falling Skies.
Falling Skies, yeah.
I love Falling Skies. So do you think that the uptick in UFOs right now is caused by what?
Other countries spying.
Other countries, right?
Other countries spying. Like, like hands down, other countries.
Developing technologies.
Yeah, it's a constant spy game, you know?
It is.
It really is.
And it has been forever.
Yeah, it has been.
It's lost on Noah's generation. Noah thinks we should cut defense spending, mind our own business, let the borders be open. The moon landing was fake. I just summarized Noah's exact philosophy. Noah, what does Space Force say?
New classified space fighting center ready to fight hostile extraterrestrials as well as adversaries China and Russia in the alien war.
What'd they say?
A classified space warfighting center
So classified
will protect us.
war fighting center
if
against
the world,
aliens?
If the world encounters hostile aliens, reflects as space becomes a key war.
It's like the Department of Defense against aliens. However, but I mean, really, like it sounds like a Randy Quaid movie. Like suddenly we're in Independence Day.
But it sounds like a Randy Quaid movie, but you also just said that we're not the only evolved life form.
No, I agree. I totally agree. So, I don't know if you saw the big news.
What?
Robert De Niro at 79 is having another baby.
He had the baby.
Oh, had the baby. That's right. He had the
Robert De
baby.
Niro pushed a baby out.
79 years old.
That's so irresponsible.
Well, it made me think of two things. One, it made me think of
Tony Randall. 72, I think, when he did it.
Right, he had two kids with that woman. And then it made me think of your joke that you do about what the right age to have a baby is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But Robert De Niro didn't have to worry about saving for college. It's over. Robert De Niro, I mean, you have to do what you want, right? I mean, you're Robert De Niro. But anyone else you'd call irresponsible.
Oh, my God. Anyone else would have been eviscerated.
Right. And the only reason you might say it's less irresponsible is because we presume that he's loaded.
Right.
And so he can take care of it. Now, you know, I think if maybe at 60, 65, 66, even 70, okay. 79, you're really like the kid. I mean, every Father's Day is a shock to everybody.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's hoping that he lives to 110. I mean, honestly, that poor kid.
Well, I don't think I'll be poor.
No, but I mean, listen, regardless of how much money you have, that's never going to replace your dad.
I mean,
Vinnie.
how much money are we talking? What do you think De Niro's worth?
I don't know.
Google it. I say De Niro, I'm going to guess. De Niro's worth $250 million. 250 mil.
I don't know. He's gone through a couple bad divorces.
Couple bad divorces.
Yeah.
How much?
500 million.
Oh, he's fine. He's fine.
Ask him if he'd like to adopt me. Because
500.
$500 million.
Can't
We
even
have
imagine.
so much money on entertainers. And you know what I think all the time? Why can't this country lavish a little money on us? All right? We lavish so many people. Why not you and I? We don't even need $500 million.
No,
all we need is that crappy $3.1 million boat, and we'd be lavished enough. Would you like to be lavished?
Yeah, you know what? So, you know, I used to love reading all about the stars. I mean, I secretly still do. But
Secret. You walk through the airport, the first thing you grab is a People magazine. They're doing the flight safety thing, and you're doing the fine 10 different things in the back of the thing in pen, I might add. Very cocky. Go ahead.
no, but It does bother me the older I get, the more I think how, and this can be our topic for next week, how we celebrate people that are just essentially entertaining us, which I do think is important that we have forms of entertainment and everything else. But people that make huge strides for, the good of society, nobody's showing up to celebrate them.
And you know what's amazing to me? Mm-hmm. Actors and actresses. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, again, having met Kelsey Grammer last night, I'm putting him on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Right? Because doing that, delivering someone else's words and making it, I mean, he's so good.
It's so talented.
And he's a decent person from what I can see, right? But we always get shocked when someone in Hollywood does some terrible thing.
Right.
And in a way, you're like, well, you never knew that person. They were reading someone else's lines all the time.
Right, exactly.
So, when you see a comic, you're basically generally seeing the comic. Now, a lot of comics put on, but you're seeing me right now. I know a camera on. I'm assuming it's the center camera. You're seeing me right now, and I'm asking you to lavish me up.
If everyone would just donate $20, maybe Vinnie could get his boat.
Can I tell you something funny? Like, I've thought about it so many times. What if we did a Kickstarter and we just said, okay, if everybody in the country gave me $20, that'd be $1.2 billion, right? 300 million times 20, 600 million. It'd be a lot. $6 billion.
Yeah, it would be a lot.
$6 billion. So with $6 billion, I could buy a killer boat, and then I would give everybody a ride on it. Like everybody. But here's the problem: gas is so expensive. I would go broke. Some of you people can't go on the boat. Just give the 20 and know you did a good thing. Because if I take everyone on the boat, we're out of money again. It's like a vicious cycle.
It is a vicious cycle. So, all right. With that said, we've got to wrap up. We got a lot going on today.
Okay. Why do we have to wrap up?
Because it's 2:30. And I got places to go.
All right, so let's end this one. We love you guys. Please go follow on the YouTube and don't be afraid to lavish. $20 each. It wouldn't even affect your life. It's a couple less trips to Starbucks for you, and you could
help out poor old Vinnie with a boat.
With a boat. All right, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
All right, bye.
Bye.